water and land. He made plants, fish, and animals. He saw that it was good. Then God made the first man and named him Adam. He took the dust of the ground and formed it into Adam and breathed life into his lungs. God put Adam to work taking care of the garden. And he gave Adam one rule in order to keep him safe. God said, "You may eat from any fruit, from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the fruit of the tree of good and evil. If you do, you certainly will die." Yep, that's right. God told Adam that he could eat of the fruit of any tree, except that one, right? He said, don't eat the fruit from that tree. That's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But then God said, it's not good for man to be alone. I will make him a helper who is just right for him. God took one of Adam's ribs and formed the first woman, Eve. Hey, Eve. There was one animal that was more clever than any of the others. The snake. The snake asked Eve about the rule that God had given Adam. Did God really say you must not eat fruit from any tree in the garden? Eve said, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden. But what did God actually say? The snake asked. He said, did God say you must not eat from the fruit from the middle of the garden? But God really said, do not even touch it. If you do, you will die. But the snake said, certainly, you will not die. God knows when you eat fruit from that tree, you will know all things like him, like you have never known before. Like God, you will be able to tell the difference between good and evil. Yeah, the snake convinced Eve that she should disobey God and took a bite. Eve thought the fruit looked really good to eat, and it was so pretty to look at, such a perfect apple. And it would help her be a wise woman. So she did it. She took some of that apple and she ate it. So then she walked over to Adam. And she gave some to him. And he ate it too. And then both of them knew things like they had never known things before. For the first time ever, they knew what it was like to feel guilty and ashamed about what they had done wrong. Their hearts hurt. They realized that they were naked. So they sewed together fig leaves and made clothes for themselves. Adam and Eve were so sad about what they had done. They had disobeyed God, and now everything had changed. This time, when they heard God in the garden, they hid from him. Adam and Eve had chosen to listen to the snake's voice instead of trusting God. They had broken God's only rule. He had one rule, y'all. The one that was meant to keep them safe. So when God called out to Adam and said, "Where are you, Adam? I heard you in the garden." Adam replied, "I was afraid, so I hid." Then God asked Adam, "Have you eaten fruit from the tree that I commanded you not to eat?" And y'all, know what happened? Adam blamed Eve. He said, "It's her fault." He said, "It's the fault of the woman that you put here with me. She gave me the fruit. She made me do it, and I ate it." Then God asked Eve, "Eve, what have you done?" You know what she said? "It's the snake's fault. He made me do it. That snake tricked me. That's why I ate the fruit." God spoke to that snake. He told him he would be more cursed than any of the animals on earth. God still loved Adam and Eve, but their disobedience had destroyed their perfect relationship with him. God told them that as punishment, they had to leave the garden. They would have to work hard for their food, and they would have to face pain and struggle in life. All right, let's give Adam and Eve a round of applause.